It's Homebrew coming at ya. Alrighty, what have we got here today? We've got a quadruple. It is the Ichor from SlyFox beer, and they are out of Pottstown, Pennsylvania. This is a 10% ABV beer, 20 IBUs. This one is an Abbey style quadruple. It's brewed with German pills and roast malts, Belgian candy sugar, and hopped with German traditional hops. They don't say what type. But I'm looking forward to this one. This is sent to me from Paul at PA Brew News. So thank you, Paul. And one thing to keep in mind with an Abbey style quadruple, as opposed to like some of your Trappist beers tend to be drier, where the Abbey styles tend to be much more sweet and full bodied. So this can be more like a dessert beer. It's my pre-dinner beer, right? It did have some interesting stuff, so I wanted to go ahead and read that to you briefly. In mythology, Ichor was the rarefied element which flowed through the veins of the gods, making them superior to mere mortals. In reality, Ichor is an extraordinary Belgian-style quadruple which allows mortals of discriminating taste to enjoy an experience of almost godly perfection. Well, that's quite a claim, so I'm going to get this cage and cork off here and we're going to give it a try. It's full, so I've got my pumpkin cloth napkin here. See if that'll help me. Oh, a nice little pop. All right, here's the first look. You know, it does have some decent carbonation because I've got, you know, about a finger head, larger bubbles, but I can see some bubbles flowing up on the sides. The color on this is kind of a mahogany-like color. You've got a nice brown, although I do have some good ruby hues coming through on the bottom of the glass. So it probably is a fairly clear beer, actually, just very dark, but very clear. Yeah, it's very clear. Amazing. All right, let's get the nose on the Ichor. Oh wow, okay, so I'm getting some like dark fruits and sweetness. Right away I picked up plums and dark cherries. That was it. Okay, yeah, a lot of dark cherry. I'm getting some raisins on it. I get some plum on it. You definitely get the sweetness coming from the Belgian candy sugars. God, you know, some of it comes off as fruit, some of it comes off as like candied or dried fruits. I get just a hint of some spice on it. Yeah, really rich aromas coming off of this, and I'm sure that Belgian candy sugar, as I said before, has a lot to do with how this one plays. All right, cheers. Let's give this one a try. It's a lighter body than what I perceived. I will say that. The aromas just felt like thick and syrupy, you know, is the impression I got. But it's really a medium body. It's not a full body. It does fill your mouth fairly well, but it is definitely a medium body. And there's bubbles that hit my tongue lightly, but, you know, pricks the end of your tongue a little bit. The flavors are there. They're good flavors. They're not really strong. With that lighter body, they're not really heavy flavors at all. It's actually surprising a very easy drinking beer relatively than what I would have expected. You do get some of those dark cherries. At different points, that's the dominant flavor. At other points, it's more like plums and sugar plums as well. Kind of both kind of come at you. I don't get as much of the other dried fruits as I did on the nose. Might be a hint of raisin, very light. You know, a very light caramel flavor, just very light. the Belgian candy sugars tend to really dominate this in terms of its sweetness. There's just a hint of spice. It's a little bit floral, but it's interesting. With the slighter body and with the carbonation on this, I feel that carbonation like hitting on the back of the throat and bursting. Not quite so much like you would a soda, just very fine bubbles, just a little bit of it. But it's kind of a not your normal feel really for a quadruple. It doesn't really strike me like an Abbey style quad, like a Belgian quad, you know, with the Belgian yeast that it has in it, and very well carbonated. All right, so as we get to rating on this one, so if you go by style guides, for example, like quads kind of fall into a similar category as those, you know, strong Belgian ales, dark strong Belgian ales, and the aroma has many of those qualities. Actually, it follows the definition fairly well, but the taste doesn't follow through. It doesn't have as much of those flavors as you would expect, and it's dominated with this carbonation a little bit. So for a quad, I can't give it a really high score, balancing between the aroma and the taste, but taste is what dominates. So I'm going to give it a C+, a 79 for style. So I think I'm going to bring it up on my overall, for my personal taste, about an 82, that B- range. It's a pleasant enough beer. It'll be nice after dinner to sip on. But a fun one to try for sure. This is Ichor from SlyFox Beer. And this is Kevin saying life is too short to drink cheap beer, and I will see you in the next beer review.